There are corners of our world that still hold deep mysteries, places where the known laws of our universe seem to bend. One such place has captured our imagination for generations. We call it the Bermuda Triangle. It is not an official name you will find on any world map. Instead, it is a name born from stories, from disappearances, and from the deep, unsettling feeling that something strange is happening there. This mysterious patch of ocean is loosely defined, a vast expanse of the North Atlantic. Its 3 points are generally considered to be Bermuda, Miami, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Within this immense, watery triangle, countless tales of vanished ships and aircraft have been told, creating a legend that continues to puzzle and fascinate us all. Why are we so drawn to this particular stretch of sea? The answer lies in our fundamental human nature. We are explorers. We are questioners. When something defies easy explanation, we cannot help but look closer. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, became a global phenomenon because the stories were so compelling. Ships sailing into clear weather, never to be seen again. Entire squadrons of military aircraft vanishing without a single trace. These are not just simple accidents, they are riddles wrapped in the vastness of the ocean. The mystery feeds our need for wonder and our fear of the unknown, asking us to consider possibilities that lie beyond our everyday understanding. It challenges our sense of control over the natural world. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle didn't just appear overnight, it was built story by story over many decades. It began with whispers among sailors, tales of strange compass readings and sudden violent storms that seemed to come from nowhere. These stories were then gathered and amplified by writers and journalists in the mid-20th century. They connected the dots between seemingly unrelated incidents, painting a picture of a uniquely dangerous region of the world. What was once a collection of maritime tragedies was transformed into a single, overarching enigma. This narrative of a mysterious force at work is powerful. It speaks to a part of us that believes there is more to this world than what we can see and measure. This area of the Atlantic is, by any measure, a busy place. It is a major shipping lane with thousands of vessels crossing its waters every year. It is also a popular route for both commercial and private aircraft. Statistically, with such high traffic, accidents are bound to happen. But the stories from the Triangle often include bizarre details that set them apart from ordinary misfortunes. Reports of malfunctioning instruments, strange electronic fog, and last communications that speak of confusion and disorientation. These are the elements that elevate a simple accident into a profound mystery. They are the hooks that pull us in, making us ask, is it just a coincidence or is there a force at work that we do not yet comprehend? Perhaps the most famous story is that of Flight 19. On a clear afternoon in December 1945, 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It was a routine training mission. 14 men, all experienced aviators, soared into the sky, but they never returned. Radio transmissions from the flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, became increasingly strange. He reported that his compasses were malfunctioning. He seemed lost, unable to determine his direction, even though he was flying over familiar territory. "Everything is wrong." "Strange," he was heard saying. "We can't be sure of any direction. Even the ocean doesn't look as it should." The entire squadron simply vanished. The mystery did not end there. In a desperate attempt to find the missing planes, the U.S. Navy launched a massive search and rescue operation. A Martin Mariner flying boat, with a crew of 13 men, was dispatched to search for Flight 19, but within minutes of its takeoff, it too disappeared from radar. The Mariner, known to its crews as a flying gas tank due to its large fuel capacity, was prone to explosions. A nearby ship reported seeing a massive fireball in the sky around the time the plane vanished, but no wreckage of the Mariner or of the 5 Avenger planes was ever definitively recovered. In one afternoon, 6 aircraft and 27 men were lost, swallowed by the sky and the sea. Another cornerstone of the Triangle's legend is the tale of the USS Cyclops. This was a massive U.S. Navy collier ship over 540 feet long. In March 1918, during the height of World War I, it set sail from Brazil, bound for Baltimore. It was carrying over 10,000 tons of manganese ore and 306 people. The ship made a brief, unscheduled stop in Barbados, but then continued on its journey. It was never heard from again. There was no distress call, no wreckage was ever found. The ship, along with every soul on board, simply ceased to exist. It remains the single largest loss of life in U.S. naval history, not involving combat. What makes these disappearances so strange are the details, or rather, the lack of them. Take the case of the Carroll A. Deering, a 5-masted schooner discovered in 1921. The ship was found hard aground on the shoals of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, on the edge of the Triangle. It was completely deserted. The sails were set, food was found prepared in the galley, but the ship's logbook, personal belongings, and the entire crew were gone. The only living creature found aboard was a 6-toed cat. There were no signs of a struggle, no evidence of piracy or foul play. It was as if the crew had been lifted away from the ship in an instant, leaving behind a silent, floating ghost. Science does not like a vacuum. Where there is mystery, scientists will seek rational explanations. One of the most common theories for the Bermuda Triangle involves Earth's magnetic field. The triangle is one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align. This can, and does, cause confusion for navigators relying on traditional compasses. While modern GPS has made this less of an issue, for decades, pilots and sailors could have easily been thrown off course if they did not account for this geomagnetic anomaly. A small navigational error, compounded over hundreds of miles of open ocean, could lead a vessel far from its intended path and into peril. Another powerful scientific theory lies beneath the waves. The seafloor in this region is known to have vast deposits of methane hydrates. These are ice-like crystals of frozen methane gas. If there is a shift in temperature or pressure on the seabed, these hydrates can suddenly destabilize and erupt, releasing enormous bubbles of methane gas to the surface. Scientists have demonstrated in laboratory settings that if a bubble of sufficient size rises beneath a ship, it can drastically lower the density of the water. The ship would lose its buoyancy in an instant and sink like a stone, so quickly that there would be no time to send a distress call. We must also consider the raw power of nature itself. The weather in the Bermuda Triangle region can be incredibly volatile and unpredictable. The Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current, flows through the area, creating the potential for sudden, severe storms. These are not ordinary storms. They can form and intensify with terrifying speed. Furthermore, the area is susceptible to rogue waves, solitary walls of water that can reach heights of over 100 feet. A wave of that magnitude could easily capsize even the largest supertanker or cargo ship, breaking it apart and sending it to the bottom of the ocean in moments, leaving little to no debris behind for search parties to find. Finally, we cannot discount the most common factor in any accident: human error. A pilot's miscalculation, a captain's poor judgment, or mechanical failure can lead to disaster anywhere in the world. The Bermuda Triangle is no exception. Because the area is so deep, some trenches plunge more than 5 miles down, any wreckage would be incredibly difficult to locate. So when a plane or ship is lost, the lack of evidence is not necessarily mysterious. It is simply a testament to the immense and unforgiving nature of the deep ocean. Many investigators believe that most, if not all, of the Triangle's incidents can be attributed to a combination of these natural forces and human fallibility. While science searches for logical answers, our imagination often wanders into more fantastic realms. These are the fringe theories, the stories that have no basis in scientific proof but are undeniably entertaining. One of the most popular involves extraterrestrial visitors. This theory suggests that the Bermuda Triangle is a hotspot for alien activity. Perhaps it is a portal or a gathering point where aliens abduct ships and planes, along with their human crews, for study. Proponents of this idea point to the lack of wreckage as evidence, claiming the vessels were not sunk, but taken. It's a compelling thought, an encounter with beings from another world, but it remains firmly in the realm of science fiction. Another captivating myth connects the mystery to a legendary lost city. The story of Atlantis, the advanced civilization that sank beneath the waves, has fascinated people for centuries. Some believe that the ruins of Atlantis lie at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle. According to this theory, the city's advanced energy crystals, which once powered their society, are still active on the seafloor. These crystals supposedly malfunction from time to time, emitting powerful energy beams or creating electromagnetic distortions that disable ships and planes, causing them to vanish without a trace. It is a wonderfully romantic idea, linking a modern mystery to an ancient myth. Then there are the ideas that play with the very fabric of reality itself. Some theories propose that the Bermuda Triangle is home to a time warp or a portal to another dimension. In this scenario, the missing vessels are not destroyed. They are simply transported to another time or another place. Imagine a ship from the 19th century suddenly appearing in our modern world, or a modern jet fighter being thrown back into the age of dinosaurs. These concepts bend the laws of physics as we know them, offering an explanation that is both terrifying and thrilling. It suggests that the disappearances are not endings, but strange new beginnings in an unknown reality. These stories of aliens, lost cities, and dimensional gateways are powerful because they tap into our deepest sense of wonder. They offer explanations that are far more exciting than bad weather or mechanical failure. They transform tragic accidents into epic events of cosmic significance. While there is no evidence to support any of these fringe theories, they have become an inseparable part of the Bermuda Triangle's cultural identity. They are the modern-day myths and legends we tell around the campfire, whispers of the strange and the impossible that make our world feel just a little bit bigger and more mysterious than it seems. So what do the experts really think today? When you speak to scientists, the United States Coast Guard, and oceanographers, you get a much different picture. They will tell you that, statistically, the Bermuda Triangle is no more dangerous than any other heavily trafficked part of the ocean. The United States Board on Geographic Names does not recognize it as an official region. The Coast Guard, the very organization that would be rescuing people from these mysterious circumstances, states that in their experience, the accidents that occur in the area are no different from those happening elsewhere. They see the mystery as a product of sensationalism, not substance. Many researchers have gone back to the original reports of the famous disappearances and found that the stories have often been embellished over time. Details were changed, and crucial information was left out. For instance, many of the ships and planes reported as vanishing in calm weather were actually sailing directly into known, powerful hurricanes. In the case of Flight 19, Lieutenant Taylor, the flight leader, had a history of getting lost. The storytellers often omit the inconvenient facts that point toward conventional explanations, because a simple tragedy is not as captivating as an unsolvable enigma. The legend, it seems, is often more important than the truth. The world's leading insurance market, Lloyd's of London, has confirmed that it does not charge higher premiums for vessels transiting the Bermuda Triangle. If the area were truly as hazardous as the legends claim, insurance companies, which make their money by accurately calculating risk, would certainly be charging more. Their data shows that the number of losses in the region is proportional to the amount of traffic it sees. From a purely financial and statistical standpoint, the Devil's Triangle is a perfectly ordinary stretch of sea. The real mystery, some would argue, is why the legend has persisted so strongly in the face of so much evidence to the contrary. Yet, our fascination endures. Why? Because the ocean is still a vast and largely unexplored frontier. Even with all our technology, there are things we cannot fully explain. We may be able to account for most of the disappearances, but a few cases still hold unanswered questions. This small kernel of the unknown is all that is needed to keep the flame of mystery alive. The Bermuda Triangle serves as a powerful reminder that our planet still has secrets. It challenges us to keep exploring, to keep questioning, and to accept that there may always be some riddles that lie just beyond our reach, lost in the deep blue water.